My name is Sebastian. I'm a heart disease and stroke survivor. I have a pretty interesting story in that my heart disease started with an infection. I actually got the infection in my heart from stepping on a toothpick. That's where it began for me. I stepped on a toothpick. I had my foot treated. About 4 or 5 days later, I got a pretty bad infection in my foot, and they treated it, and I thought nothing of it. I was 23 at the time, and went about living. I didn't think that anything bad would come of it. What happened was, over the course of 8 months, I got a staph infection in my foot, and the staph infection ended up going into my heart and did quite a lot of damage. It actually ended up destroying my aortic valve. So about 8 months later, as I was living the life of a young guy, I, within the course of 24 hours, took a turn for the worse and was basically rushed to the hospital. My parents found me at my house, and I had been passed out. I was unconscious, bleeding from my mouth, was rushed to the hospital, and was told, my parents were told, that I wasn't going to make it through the night. I was in the hospital for 93 days. While I was there, I had open heart surgery. I had 2 strokes. They had to replace my aortic valve, and they had to put a pacemaker in because of the damage that was done to my sinoatrial node. I was very lucky. I lived and got out to breathe another day and live another day, and really had a chance to count my blessings. So in 1996, I really took it as a time to reflect and to rebuild. In 1996, I got into exercise, very into exercise. I'd always been very fit, which is probably one of the reasons I'm still here today. When I went into the hospital, I was very, very fit and ready for the fight of my life. So as I was working out in 96, rebuilding my body, I celebrated what I call my rebirth day, which was October 14th of 1996, a year after the day that I was checked into the hospital. And on October 20th of 1996, I was working out at a gym. It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of a sudden I felt my heart start to flutter. And last thing I remember was I put my head down on the pad that I was working out at, and I slipped into sudden cardiac death. I'm one of the lucky 1 to 3% that has a sudden cardiac death on the streets of Los Angeles. It was pretty amazing because I was actually working out next to a doctor at that point. He began immediate CPR, but unfortunately CPR can't restart the heart alone. It was about 6 minutes later when Rescue 63 of the Los Angeles Fire Department showed up, and they shocked my heart with 1 shock from an external defibrillator. Just took 1 shock to restart my heart and restart the natural rhythm. And I was brought to the hospital, and I was told that I was going to need an internal defibrillator, which I have now. I've been healthy ever since. I've been happy ever since. And when I look back at that day, it really amazes me that the reason I'm here and able to speak and articulate my thoughts, the reason that I'm able to play with my son and spend time with my wife, is because it was something as simple as CPR that saved my life. It's a very, very simple thing. It's a course that can be taught and learned within a day. And the CPR and the external defibrillation is what has me here today. It's the reason I'm alive today. And I can't stress enough the importance of both. So thanks for letting me share my story.